Hey everybody, Kelly Engineering here, and welcome to episode 26 of Project Ozone 3. In between episodes, I finally completed this section of the plant gatherers, with the exception of rabbits, and I also started this one over here. So this is all of the thermal foundation and the Ender IO alloys, as well as the grains of infinity, which I've had sitting around for a while. Fun fact, I didn't actually 10-10-10 these when I made them, so they were all like 10-8-7 and stuff like that, so I had to fully 10-10-10 those. But I also did quite a bit of other stuff, actually. So I've been getting all the materials together to use the high-tech bench and upgrade all of my... Where's my armor stand? Where's my armor stand? Oh, entities just aren't loading. Got it. Whew. Well, I've been getting the materials together to upgrade my armor up to the highest base. I don't have Mekanism glowstone ingots, and I don't have, I forget what this, I believe it's tough ingots, and I'm going down the line just getting all of the materials together before I upgrade everything in one fell swoop. I also upgraded the Endus furnaces to Zenith furnaces, and I put these item translocators here because they are zippy. Let me grab some ore and then show you how zippy they are. Yeah, the what I was using before, the flat transfer nodes, they weren't fast at all. So I upgraded to the translocators, and look at this, one full stack, bam. One full stack right into the Zenith furnace done, 2 stacks of coal. And wait, coal doesn't quadruple? Huh. But yeah, that's how zippy that is. So I love them. I also got my quantum tanks together because in the next update of the pack, quantum tanks are going away, as are quantum storage units. So, as I thought on episode 4, whenever I first started, whenever somebody recommended I made the quantum tanks, they were very easy to make, and it's too easy to mass produce them, especially in a pack like this where everything has to be automated and complicated. So yeah, the quantum tanks are going away. In this episode, I'm getting into Mekanism, so I can actually create the Mekanism tanks and just upgrade everything to one level below creative Mekanism tanks. So I've collected all of those together with the exception of... Nope, I got that one. So all the ones that are at the mob farm. Those are the only quantum tanks remaining. Oh, and that essence. I also... made some powered spawners for Blizz, Basals, and Blitz, and got everything together that I needed for Epiology version 2, which is XP boost 5 and then looting 6, as well as great... I'm one-shotting quite a bit of everything. But yeah, Mekanism. I'm getting into Mekanism today, and we're going to get those tanks created. So let's get started. So when I was working on modular machinery, I made a metallurgic infuser, and well before I was even supposed to, so I could make these basic control circuits and then make the modular machinery stuff. So I have all of that. I also made this dictionary thinking that it was some sort of Mekanism guide, because looking at Mekanism inside JEI, quite a bit has, there's quite a few new blocks that I don't know about. Or that I don't recognize at first glance. So yeah, I made the dictionary thinking it was the Mekanism guide, but it's not the guide. If you use the dictionary, you can put in any sort of material that's in the ore dictionary, and it will tell you what its ore dictionary name is. So put in some osmium, or it's ore osmium, and that's handy for the miner. Oh. So let's see, does redstone ore some of the ore dictionary examples have 2 names? Well, redstone is not one of them. I think coal is one of them. Regardless, that's what the dictionary does. It is not a guide, and I made it a little too early. But I'm going to make some more metallurgic infusers, and one for each of the basic circuit cards, and we're going to go over what that's for. So yeah, the Metallurgic Infuser is 4 iron, 2 redstone, 2 furnaces, and osmium. You're going to need a lot of osmium if you're going to make everything in Mekanism. Osmium is a key component. So, oh, and they don't stack. That's great. Yeah, 4 should do. So, yep, got those. And I'm only going to use 1 for now because I want to actually make the Mekanism piping and then pipe all of that. I want to keep it all within Mekanism. So that's what we're going to do. Alright, the first thing I'm going to create is the heat generator. The heat generator is exactly like it sounds. Whenever you put in lava, it will generate power for you. Alternatively, let's see if this is still a thing. That's not a thing anymore. Alright, you used to be able to... Oh, there it goes. It is. So you can surround the heat generator with lava, and it will... let's make some lava, actually. 1 bucket of lava, and we'll craft 4 more. So you can also put a bucket of lava in there. It will take the lava and generate the power for you. Now, note that this is actually a lot quicker throwing the lava inside, generating power, than surrounding it. But surrounding is always an option as well. The next thing I was going to create is the Energized Smelter, but unfortunately, the Mekanism steel casing recipe has been changed. So it requires Pneumaticraft plastic instead of glass that Mekanism usually requires here. So yeah, I cannot make this steel casing. And if I can't make the steel casing, that means I can't make any of these machines. Whoa. Alright, we may have a wrench in our plans for this episode. I don't want to go into Pneumaticraft because, if I'm honest, I can't stand Pneumaticraft. But, alright, let's go into Pneumaticraft. Alright, on the basis of saving time, I am only going to get as far as the plastic mixer so I can make all of this plastic. So I'm going to make these pressure tubes, and Pneumaticraft is all about pressurized air. That's the quote-unquote power for this mod. So yeah, I got to make some pressure tubes, the Pneumatic Refinery, possibly the air compressor, this Thermo pneumatic processing plant, and then the plastic mixer. So yep, that is the line we're going to go down, and we're going to get this plastic made up. So I made this in between episodes, and it's right behind the main factory. I had to make an angel block to put it underneath. Oh, and angel blocks, for those unaware, and it's a very commonly used block, but whenever you have an angel block... Alright. Let's make another one. Whenever you have an angel block, all you have to do, just right click and it'll place it right there. So you can place it in the air. It doesn't have to be pressed up against anything like normal Minecraft blocks. And yeah, angel blocks. Let's make sure I don't lose this one. So I made this specifically for making compressed iron. In order to get into the Mekanism stuff, I had to make compressed iron in the anyway. So yeah, all I have to do is throw some iron down, and then I have a block of TNT and a redstone torch. So you'll notice that I threw down 2 stacks of let's get rid of this. I threw down 2 stacks of iron, but I only got 1.5 stacks back, or a little more than 1.5 stacks. That's because, of course, stuff is going to be destroyed in the explosion, so you're never going to get as much compressed iron back as the iron you threw in. But that's perfectly fine. Let's get that compressed iron back and make these pipes. So the pressurized pipes from Pneumaticraft. So yeah, the pressure tubes. I thought it was a pipe, it's a tube. So you get 8 of those. I'm going to have 32 of them. I could make the advanced pressure tubes, but it requires the assembly controller, and I am not going down the Pneumaticraft rabbit hole this episode. It takes too long. It takes too much preparation, and I just wanted to do Mekanism today. So I have these pressure tubes. Wait for that to clear. So there were comments about not the heat generator, but quests not completing whenever they're in my hotbar. They have to be in my inventory. I tried that with the heat generator, and it didn't work. I still don't have the heat generator quest complete, and I'm thinking it's because of the NBT data. because it's now keyed to me. It has stored energy inside it, and yeah, that's entirely my bad. So I can't clear out that NBT data like normal machines, so I'm going to have to complete that manually later. But got the pressure tubes, let's continue on with Pneumaticraft by crafting the Pneumatic Refinery. Alright, the next block that we need to make is the refinery. So if you look at the refinery recipe, it's very simple. But what it's used for, it takes oil and then it makes various liquids depending on how high it's stacked. So yeah, when I put in oil and then I have this thing stacked 4 high, it's going to create diesel, kerosene, fuel, and LPG for me. LPG is actually the one I want in order to make plastic. So yeah. I also need to raise the temperature up high enough in order for it to actually create the things as well. So let's see here. Yeah, it doesn't actually look like the temperature needs to be higher than 100 Celsius. Really? That's interesting. We'll see how it's different in Project Ozone 3. Full disclosure, I have not messed with Pneumaticraft since 1.7, mainly because I can't stand Pneumaticraft. I think it's too complicated I think it's too complicated for what I actually need to use it for. So I'm going to go over here, and I have oil from my building operations in the Twilight Forest. So I'm going to set up the whoops. Here we go. There we go. All 4 refineries are set up. Temperature is 22 degrees Celsius. I'm actually going to destroy one. So see how I don't have anything connecting? That means I can only fill up 1 refinery in order to make the stuff. Which is why, let's collect you and turn you back on before we have another angel block incident. That's why I made 4 of them. Because looking at the recipe one more time, I need LPG, and LPG is made, I'm always going to get, okay, 2 out of 10 every time. So I need to surround this thing, I need to provide a heat source to this thing. The way that I knew how to was lava, but eventually the refinery will take the lava and turn it into obsidian, so it's always a finite resource. So we're going to have to set that up as well. So I'm going to get that set up. Be right back with you as soon as that's done. So I've made this goofy looking contraption with a thermal expansion pulverizer, magma crucible, fractionizing, and 2 fractionating stills. So the pulverizer is taking in coal, and then it is making pulverized coal and pushing the pulverized coal to here, where it's going to be making liquefacted coal. The liquefacted coal in the fractionating still is going to be making naphtha, and then the naphtha is going to be in another fractionating still making refined fuel. Then the refined fuel is going to be shooting into this liquid compressor, and liquid compressor is one of the fuels that the compressor can use to generate air pressure. And then this air pressure is going to a vortex tube. The vortex tube is currently heating up right now very slowly, and I'm unsure what I can do to speed up this process. But once it gets to 100 degrees Celsius, the refinery will start working. I have this heat sink over here so that it's keeping the... actually, let's remove the heat sink for now. See what we do. Oh yeah, look at that. Look how the south temperature is getting too cold, and the colder that this gets, you see that this my north temperature is now decreasing. So I need to keep this at a decent temperature in order to get my north temperature rising a little bit. So I have my heat sink here. The fractionating still is making a byproduct of tar and sulfur. So I have the sulfur going into these storage drawers, and I'm also getting a output of sulfur here at the pulverizer. So I just have that going up into the drawer as well. Easy peasy. I have this portable tank here because I thought that once this was full of refined fuel, it would start going into the portable tank, and I was wrong. It's just hanging out here and not pushing in at all, even though this is extract, this is insert and extract, and this is an insert. But regardless, I'm going to wait for this to get to 100 degrees Celsius, and then it'll start taking this oil from the quantum tank, and I'm killing 2 birds with 1 stone here. Taking this... trying to empty out the quantum tanks before they get removed, and then I'm going to have the refineries working. So yeah, here's the machine. In the liquid compressor, I didn't go over. I made a security upgrade and 2 volume upgrades. So these volume upgrades are actually increasing the amount of air that the compressor can hold and can hold. So if I remove these volume upgrades, it didn't happen. Yeah, there we go. So I just put it back, and you see that the pressure went down a little bit. Now that it's removed, the pressure is going to steadily start going up a little bit. If this pressure ever gets into the red zone, then the security upgrade will actually shut off the machine. So I don't really have to worry about that. I am kind of screwing myself with these volume upgrades because I do want a little bit more pressure, because the pressure, I'm making pressurized air. Of course, hello. Oh no, I think I just screwed myself over by removing those upgrades. Oh man. Alright, I can't make speed upgrades right now because that requires a whole new it requires lubricant, and I'm gonna have to break into immersive petroleum, and I haven't made any of those machines. So the immersive petroleum distillation tower right here, which requires more oil, and I'm not gonna break into that right now. So I've altered the setup quite a bit by adding 2 more liquid compressors, getting rid of that tank, that portable tank, since it wasn't doing anything for me, and putting more vortex tubes here. So the way that Pneumaticraft machines work is whenever pressure is applied, of course, with any sort of a high pressure substance, you're going to have quite a bit of cold coming out of it. The more pressurized something is, the more cold it is. So most Pneumaticraft machines have a hot and a cold side. Since I'm putting hot in on this side, that means that there's going to be cold coming in on this side. And that can be limited quite a bit by covering any side with a block that thinks that it's air. So I could put these trap doors here. And that means that this side no longer has any link to the Pneumaticraft's heat system. And I'm going to heat up quite a bit faster. You can see that I'm now at 102 degrees Celsius and holding. I'm going to cover up these faces as well, just because. And why not? For good measure, I'm going to... Oh, these are wooden trapdoors, by the way, just painted to look like blast brick, since I think it fits the aesthetic. And put one here on top. So yeah, look at that. Now that I have a lot of faces covered, my heat is rising a lot faster. That's because I no longer have sides connected to the Pneumaticraft's heat system, and I can put a block of lava here anytime. Lava turns to obsidian much quicker than I remember, and it may be because of this setup. But yeah, put a block of lava here. Look at that, I'm at 270 and rising Celsius. And then this is going to become obsidian. So yeah, that not the best way to do things. But I was holding steady about 101. Holding steady at 101 Celsius. So I'm going to keep it there with this setup. And all I have to do is just keep filling it up with coal and make sure that this stuff gets voided whenever it... I can make some void upgrades real quick. But yeah, that's the way that works. Yeah, I think for now this is going to be the winning combination. I'm these 3 pressure liquid compressors and covering up all of the faces. So just to reiterate, anything that blocks a Pneumaticraft machine from becoming part of the heat system, so like these conduits, or I'm not even sure, maybe even a bit, but anything that blocks it from becoming part of the heat system means that I am dissipating all of the cold that was being generated on each of these sides. And I am maintaining steady at 133 degrees Celsius. The more heat you have going into the system, yeah, look at that, my heat's going down already. The more heat you have going into the system, the faster this thing will go. But I'm happy with 133 for now. I'm just going to wait for some more LPG to generate. I'm at 2 buckets, and Lord, I need more. And then we can move on with the next machine. Alright, the thermopneumatic processing plant. This is going to convert my LPG into liquid plastic for me. So I'm just going to place that down. And this is where I'm going to put my LPG. And this is where it's going to put the liquid plastic. Awesome, awesome. So, oh, I didn't explain what each of these buttons were. So this is a basic information tab. Redstone control, what upgrades this machine can take and what it will actually do for the machine. What its current pressure level is at, and if there are problems, so there's no valid ingredient or no room for output, add the right ingredients or empty the output tank, whatever. And then this machine requires or produces heat. Heat can be applied by placing a block that generates heat next to this machine, all that good stuff. So I'm going to have to set this up again if I want it to work properly. Let's make it happen. The proper recipe that I need is LPG and coal. And that will make me my liquid plastic. But there's also lubricant. There's also kerosene. Yeah. Wait, I can make even more LPG using fuel. PneumaticCraft fuel. Huh. We could just make this cyclic. Yeah. This refinery is producing fuel, put the fuel in here, the fuel makes LPG, the LPG goes to another thermo-pneumatic processing plant, makes me the liquid plastic. We'll worry about that later. I kind of wish I had gotten that on camera. My thermo-pneumatic processor just exploded, mainly because I let the pressure get too high. I didn't make a security upgrade for it. So that's unfortunate. I need to make another one. Of course I wasn't hitting the record button when the interesting stuff happened. Here we go. Here's another one. And it had like 8 buckets of... Yeah, so I'm actually going to make a security upgrade for this time. Here we go. Security upgrade. I throw that in here in the upgrade slot. And temperature is low once again because I need to put some lava right there. Alright, got my LPG in. Let's put the coal back in. And boom, look at that. So pressure is still going up. Let me verify built-in safety valve tubes in the pneumatic machine. Alright, so once this gets to the red point, it should just stop. And my lava stopped again. Whatever, I got 6,000 buckets. And why are you not taking? Yeah, there's no reason why you shouldn't be taking. There we go. Alright, so I got 9,000 buckets of plastic right now. Pressure is still raising. Let's wait and see whether or not this security upgrade actually does its job. I got impatient. So, yeah, we're not going to worry about that. And I have my... So I disconnected the air compressor from the processing plant. And pressure isn't going down. And heat's maintaining because of this lava block. Huh. You know what? I don't understand Pneumaticraft at all. Oh well, I have my plastic. On to the next machine. Alright, last machine, plastic mixer. Cool. So this machine, I'll place it down. So all I need to do is throw in my liquid plastic and possibly some dyes if I want to. Yeah. And start making my plastic. So, hang on. Let's get my buckets. Alright, so I have 2 liquid plastics. It better not produce... No, it doesn't... Okay, so this machine only requires heat if it's melting plastic down to its... the physical plastic down into liquid again. It does not require heat in order to make the liquid into the solid. So let's get this hooked up. Huh, there was no hookup necessary. Alright, so it looks like it is plastic selection. I want white. Yeah, and it uses 1 bucket to make 1 plastic. Great. So I'm going to have this thing, I'm going to have to actually make this thing run constantly. This is probably one of the most complicated machines I've ever made. Yeah, so I'm going to have to hook this thing up to constantly be making plastic since, yeah, 1 bucket of plastic is 1 piece of plastic. Great. Alright, here we go. Oh, what are you doing? So these are Ender fluid conduits, and I have the LPG extracting and going into the thermopneumatic processing plant, and then I have the liquid plastic extracting and going into the plastic mixer, which is completely full right now. I still need to empty out the portable tank into it as well. So, just make a bunch of white plastic. Awesome. So this actually requires no pressure whatsoever. All it requires is temperature. So, yeah, the temperature is 142 degrees, which is being supplied via the vortex tube attached to the air compressor. The air compressor has charcoal blocks in it right now. And actually the pressure is maintaining pretty steady right now. And I have a security upgrade in there just in case. So let's get a bucket. I need to stop putting my buckets away while I'm working with this mod. Plastic, 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 plastic. Awesome. So that is the setup as it stands right now. And yep, the LPG is going in there. All I have to do is add some coal. And bim bam boom. Ooh, the temperature looks like it goes down every time. Shoot. I'm going to have to do something about that as well. Yep, that's not going to last. Regardless, let's extract. This is now full of plastic, and I can keep making my plastic. So it's pretty manual right now as it stands, but at the very least, I can get into Mekanism. And that's the whole reason I delved into this mod. So yeah, actually, let's get a screenshot. Boom. So yeah, that's as far as into Pneumaticraft as I want to get in this episode, and I don't think I have any time to get into Mekanism. So, or Pneumaticraft, whatever I just said. So I'm going to end the episode here. Next episode we will be getting into Mekanism, this time I promise. And but with that, I am Kelly Engineering, and I hope you enjoyed the episode. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.